So I finally got my YouTube channel monetized. And stick around because in this video, I'm gonna share with you my first full month's results of being a monetized channel. Hey everybody, it's Brian from A Life After Layoff, and today I actually want to check back in with you about multiple streams of income and specifically my YouTube channel. So if you've been following along since the beginning, you'll probably notice that my statistics look a little different today than they did even a month ago. Well, it looks like the YouTube algorithm took pity on my small channel and decided to show me to more people. So I experienced a significant amount of growth in the month of April. Now the reason why I am sharing this information with you is that if you recall in a previous video where I broke down each one of my channels of multiple streams of income, YouTube was actually one of those. And so I wanted to be a little bit more transparent about exactly what I did on YouTube and kind of what it turned into in my first full month. Now, when I first got into YouTube, certainly didn't do it for the income. In fact, I really didn't do much research on, I mean, I knew that there was monetization, that certain channels could monetize. Everything that I was seeing was that small channels below 10 grand seemed to be getting, maybe a few $100s a month. And I looked at it and said, first of all, that seems like so far away from me, but if I even made a few dollars on it, that would be great. So the fact that I'm even making a video about my first month of monetization, I'm pretty excited about that. And I think even in the time frame that I've done it in is relatively short. But before we head over to the analytics, and I'm actually going to jump on the back end and show you behind the scenes what I see, I want to reemphasize the importance of multiple streams of income. And that's the reason why I'm creating this channel. It's not to brag or anything like that. It's really just to kind of open your eyes to the idea of making income in different ways than just a full-time job. Again, refer back to my videos about the multiple streams of income. I go into a lot more detail about that concept, but I wanted to show you what I'm doing on my channel and being transparent about it and show you kind of behind the scenes what it looks like. So if you're not familiar with YouTube and the monetization policy, how it works is that you have to hit a certain number of watch hours and get a certain number of subscribers before you can apply to become monetized on the YouTube platform. So for me, it was 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. I ended up getting the watch hours a lot faster than I got to 1,000 subscribers, but that's basically how that works. Then once you get those metrics, you'll get a notification from YouTube that will invite you to be able to apply for monetization. So then you go through a verification process. They will vet your channel to make sure that it complies with some of their requirements, and then you get notification of your ability to monetize on the channel. So how the monetization works on YouTube is there's ads that run before, during, and after your videos. And smaller channels don't get a portion. YouTube basically takes the entire amount of ad revenue that comes from those ads that get shown. As you get to be bigger, YouTube actually will allow the bigger content creators to be able to take a portion of that. So it's a small fraction. But if you have enough channel authority and you get enough views, it can add up to some pretty significant numbers. So that's really the incentive for a YouTube content creator to create good content, is to try to get more watch hours, so that ultimately one reason would be to get more ad revenue. I mean, there's lots of reasons why you might want to do that, but one being ad revenue. And that's kind of where this video comes into play. This was going to break down my first paycheck. Now, I will say it's a little bit misleading because I did actually earn a small paycheck in the very beginning when I was starting to lead up, but they don't pay it out right away. So you have to, it typically takes, they pay it out a month later. So you have to go to a certain date, and then you have to set up an AdSense account, and then you'll see your money hitting kind of late. You'll kind of look at it and go, well, it shows that I earned this money, but it's not actually showing in my AdSense account until much later. So it can kind of throw you off at first. So I did earn a small, I think it was like $200 check, my very first check, which was only a portion, like a week out of that month as I was ramping up. So this video is actually going to show you the entire month of April, essentially. So that's going to be, because really for me, that's kind of the purpose. This is like my first full month of doing of ad revenue. So, but I just wanted to clarify that it's a little bit misleading because I did have a small paycheck to start with that was about a week's worth of income, because that's when I got monetized, and then now I'm going to cover the entire month of April. So let's head in and look at some analytics. All right, so let's take a look at analytics over the last month. And you can see really I've had a pretty interesting month, to say the least. And
about a month ago is when I had the YouTube algorithm kind of grab me and kind of catapult me. And so you can see it this huge jump right here in views and watch hours and kind of everything that went along with it. So before this, you can see it was actually my average was probably that's 22,000 views a day. I was probably, I don't know, about less than 1,000 views a day about 3 days before this or 4 days before this. I published a certain video, and I don't think it's gonna show it on here anymore, but I published a certain video, and I think it was my LinkedIn tips video, and for whatever reason, um, the algorithm decided to catapult me into started showing actually older videos. I had a couple old videos that were trending decently for the size channel, and at the time I think I had about, I don't know, it was maybe 1,200 total subscribers. It took me a long time to get up to 1,000 subs. It took me forever to get to 100 subscribers. So those of you who have been around since the beginning, I really do appreciate you. But from getting from 100 to 1,000 probably took half the amount of time. So I think it took me to get to 100. I think it took me from I started my channel in, gosh, in June or maybe June of 2020, and I hit my first 100 in, I think it was November. I was driving to visit my folks in Pittsburgh for the holiday for Thanksgiving, and I was on my way there, and I hit 100 on the road. I remember that, and so I was really excited that I finally hit 100 because it felt like at least I wouldn't be itty bitty with my 10 or 15 subscribers. So from the time it took me to hit that, so it took me like 6 months or whatever, 5 months to hit 100 subscribers. From 100 subscribers, it went to 200 subscribers by Christmas time. So I had 200, I hit 200 subs at Christmas. So I was like, wow, so I now it's like I don't know how much of a percentage increase that is, but I went and I ended up really moving up into subscribership. From there, it started to, yeah, so that it took 4 weeks to get the next 100. Then it took, I think, a week to get the third 100. Then I started going up 100. I was probably now starting to average between about 8 to 15 subscribers a day. That I would get. And so I was kind of grinding my way up. And at that point, so I went over the course of, 3 months of doing that grinding and went, basically climbed up over 1,000. And for me, 1,000 was like this huge hill that I finally climbed, and I was really excited. And I actually hit like 1,200, and I was like, maybe I should. I think I can do the. I got an email from YouTube saying that you can monetize your channel, so I kind of sat on it for like a week or so, and I'm like, maybe I should just put it. And I hear it takes a while for them to approve, so I put my application in about, I don't know, probably beginning of March. This was after maybe 2 weeks after I had hit my milestone of watch. I actually hit my watch hours way before I hit my number of subscribers. People were watching my videos but not subscribing, and it was like 99% of my views were from people that were not subscribed. So maybe it's just I was a small channel, and they didn't want to subscribe to a little itty bitty guy. So those of you who took the plunge and took a leap of faith, I really appreciate you, because you helped get me, up over that hump. But I think what happened is, in when I applied for the basically getting monetized, I think I did it at a very fortunate time. I don't, and it was just happenstance because I really went into YouTube not thinking that there was going to be. I didn't look at it as a moneymaker or I was just literally trying to build a credible presence online so that I could get people to go and check out my website and the product offerings and the consultations and things like that. And I feel like writing articles is what I do, is kind of what I started with. Blogging is a good way to do it, but I think from a credibility perspective, there's nothing more powerful than the video medium. So that's why I really started to go and created a YouTube channel. And my wife said, "I thought you were going to do a blog." And I said, "Well, I am doing a blog, but I'm also doing a website. And then I also want to do YouTubing because I think from my perspective, I trust people. I watch YouTube. Well, I'm a YouTuber. That's how I get a lot of my information. I kind of jump on YouTube first, where she goes to Google. And for me, it's just a way to find information in a more credible manner. And I find people, I just like to listen to it in the background if I'm, if it's something that I'm interested in, or so I felt pretty early on that YouTubing would be a good choice for me just because I felt that I could connect with the audience a little easier and a little quicker. So long story short, fortunately, I had good timing because I got I submitted um, my documentation in order to get my channel monetized. You have to go through like a review process with YouTube. I heard that it could take a few weeks, but actually my turnaround time was really quick. It was like a week, like less than a week. I got a note back saying that I had been monetized, they'd been approved for monetization, and that I need to go in and set up my AdSense account and tie everything together. So I did that, and then I posted this video on, I think it was the LinkedIn video. I'm not sure, but I think it was the LinkedIn video. A few couple like in March, and for whatever reason the algorithm just took hold right after that. And so all of a sudden my volume of my views per day doubled, then it tripled, then it quadrupled. And I'm like telling my wife, I'm like, this is crazy. Like the you like all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of views on my channel. And then I went up to, I started getting, I hit 100 viewer subscribers in a day, and I was like, holy moly! It took me 6 months to get my first 100. Now I made 100 subscribers in a day, and I was like blown away by that. Then it just kept on going up over the course of like a week and a half or 2 weeks. It just kept on going up and up and up, and you can see. So I was averaging about like 400 or 500 views a day total across my entire channel before the algorithm caught. And you can see here on March 31st, which is about a week into this thing, it's 22,000. Then the next day it went up to 34,000. Then the next day it went up to 52,000. Then the next day it went up to 67. And I'm thinking like the whole time going like, what is going on here? And I'm super happy, and everybody's just flooding my channel and sending me like really amazing notes, and I'm just like overwhelmed with support. And it's kind of crazy. And then 100, then I thought 67. I was like, this is insane. Was getting 800 a day or 500 a day, now up to 67,000. And then it went up to like at 67,000. I was like, there's no way possible way it could keep on going. I was just waiting for the roller coaster to end. And then it went up and doubled overnight, and literally went up to 120 or 112. Then it went up, my views went up to 126, and then it peaked at 140. And then I was like, this is not sustainable, because it was just like literally like a rocket straight up. And I'm like, this is not sustainable. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts, but this is not sustainable. And I felt good about the content I was putting out. And I felt like I was giving value, but really, really resonating with a lot of people. And with that, my subscriber base really kind of grew. Now you can see the nature of YouTube is that it does this. So I've always heard that you go up on waves and you go down, then you kind of level out, and then you kind of ride waves back up again. So I'm definitely off the roller coaster and kind of more into a normalized zone, which in a way I'm actually kind of glad, because it gives me an idea to like kind of really calibrate like where I truly am with this channel, and what people really want to hear about. And so that that's been an interesting ride. Let's look at subscribers. So when back at that same period of time, I was like, this is by now I was hitting 440 subscribers in a day, which was insane. Then it went up to 691 in a day. Then it went up. So I started this run at 1,200 total subscribers. So in one day, I'm making a quarter of my total subscriber base in a day. 600, almost half, or more than half. And then 1,100. I mean, in one day I'm making almost the entire amount that it took me to get in 6 7 months, 8 months. Then 1,400, then 2,600 in a day, and then almost 2,800 in a day, and then 27. Then you can see again, it kind of come the roller coaster kind of came down, and then we're levelizing. Now I'm kind of bouncing in between like 100 to 200. Some days it's kind of goes up and down, 200 to 100. So I think as my channel levels out, I actually had been feeling under the weather recently, so I didn't post, for you can see like there's a big gap between posts. And my lovely wife was very gracious enough to kind of swoop in when I was complaining that I could not go on camera, and she said, "Let me help you out." So I really appreciate her stepping up to the plate like that. It was like kind of like pinch hitting, and she's amazing. I had this huge, I've had this huge gap. Now I've got a lot of content planned. I'm kind of behind now on that, but now I'm going to start. By the time you see this, I'll probably already have some other content up. But my my channel's kind of normalized, so that's kind of the point. But from my watch hours perspective, you need 4,000 total watch hours to get monetized, which took me like 5 months. I think I hit it in February maybe, or even late January I hit it. And but now I was getting it in one day. It's like, so this engagement, obviously this rocket ship up is not sustainable at the size account that I am, and I knew that the whole time. I'm like, okay, this is like engagement of somebody that's nearly I mean, I was kind of comparing it to other big accounts, and I was getting the engagement of a million account, the size of a million followers. So I mean, a guy that was 1,200 subscribers is getting that kind of engagement. We all know that that's not going to be sustainable. So, really appreciative of the algorithm because it shot me up there and kind of gave me that momentum to get really, you know, a lot of watch hours and a lot of eyeballs on my channel and a lot of interest. I mean, and I've gotten flooded on my LinkedIn channel. I've gotten flooded with private consultations. My schedule is completely booked up now for 2 months straight. I'm still booking 2 to 3 weeks out for those. People have been really resonating with the course material that I've put out. So it's just been all around. It's been something that I've been believing in for a long time. I knew when I started this that I felt very strongly about the content that I was putting out. I felt like it was really needed and it was potentially going to help a lot of people. Um, I didn't think that it would blow up. Now I'm not a huge account by any means, so I'm not pretending like I'm some gigantic, but going from being 1,200 up to, I think right now I'm at 27 or something, which it kind of spiked up today for some real weird reason. I don't know why it did. All of a sudden I went from, I was like 24 and almost 25K, kind of waiting to get to 25K, and then suddenly I went up like 3,000 followers over the course of as I'm recording this. So I don't know if that's like a glitch or what's going on. But anyway, there's that. I'm not pretending like I'm some big account, but it's just been a crazy roller coaster ride, and the response has been really overwhelming. Like you guys have been super awesome and super duper supportive. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some trolly people who leave kind of ignorant comments, and that just comes with the par for the course of putting yourself out there on the internet, and I totally get that. And then there's the people who give me a hard time for being an HR guy, and I get it's easy to lash out at somebody that's you. If you think I'm the enemy, then I don't know what to tell you because I'm literally spilling all the secrets for you to try to help you get a job. But if you think that's what an enemy does, then I don't know. You got maybe other issues that you need to work through. And then people kind of giving my wife a hard time about putting, she went to bat for me. So I do kind of that one, I get a little personal with that. Like, leave her out of it. She's a good girl and she's trying hard and she was really trying to do the right thing. So anyway, everybody's been super duper supportive, and I really truly thank everybody who has been along for this journey. I've got a ton more content planned. I want to touch on income though, because that's really why I was making this video. I wanted to show, and this is not to brag about the situation that I'm in or the month that I've had, and this is really not my intention. My intention of making this video is to show you that you can make money online in alternative ways, and there are ways that you can spread out your income streams so that you can actually be um, you can make yourself have the degree, those multiple streams of income. You can make yourself financially free in different ways. And so I just want to show that this is actually an income stream that I did not expect. So when I did go through this major wave up, I actually had gotten monetized like a week before, like week before that, and I hit $3 a day, and then it went to $6 a day, and then it went to $12 a day, and I was just thinking like, hey, if I can get a couple of dinners out of this thing and take my wife out for a nice date, that would be awesome. But it just kind of skyrocketed. And so I'm going to click over to my revenue. So this month I made $7,143 on my YouTube channel, and completely unexpected. I had absolutely no idea that that's what it would happen. I started off, again, it was kind of went from $3 to 20 to $6 to $8 to $14 to $22 to 20 to $66, and I'm sitting there watching this going like, honey, we can go to a really nice restaurant now. As it's going up, and then the next day I'm like, okay, I think we can actually go to more than one dinner now, and then it just kept on going. So if it was like $96, then $270 in a day, then $352 in a day, then 550, then 600, then 700, then so I mean it peaked out at 700 and almost $740 a day just on YouTube. So when you do the math, if you can figure out a way to get your channel up to making that kind of consistent money, I mean that's some life-changing income, daily income. Um, and obviously we went back down to kind of normalize. So I went back down after the dip and after kind of the YouTube, it's like almost like a wave kind of crescendos and then kind of goes back to normalized. And now I'm at a higher base. That's the good part is now as I start off at a higher base and I can reach more people. And, you know, again, I never really went into this with the idea that I was going to make YouTube. I wasn't like, I didn't start off to be like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. That was not my goal. My goal was to reach audience, to try to get them to check out my website and get value and learn some things. And I didn't even know that you could, I mean, I was thinking I'd make, maybe $500 a month. Maybe if I could make my car payment or something on YouTube, that would be great. But this of course showed me, it actually coached me on the power of this platform and social media in general. Doing something that you love to do. So as I've kind of come back down, and granted, I've not been consistent over it because I had been dealing with a cold, and I can't really record when I'm all nasally and stuff like that. But it kind of went leveled down to like $100 a day, and I'm kind of fluctuating between $60 to $100 a day right now. And that's awesome. Like that replaces a good chunk of my wife's income from her previous life, and it just really helps the family quite a bit. So that's just this one revenue stream. I've got the other ones that I've talked about in other videos, but wanted to share this mainly to just kind of maybe open your paradigm a little bit and show you that there is a kind of a bigger world out there than just having a corporate job or career job. You can supplement it in different ways. YouTube is just one of many ways that you can do this. But it is a very viable income stream if if this is something that you want to do. But again, there's a lot of things that you can do. So I just wanted to share this with you just to kind of show the journey. And now I'm gonna continue to make content about my belief system on multiple streams of income, how we can set up ourselves for a layup-free lifestyle, and ultimately how to become free of the shackle of needing a corporate job. And we really be better to be wanting a corporate job because you enjoy the work, versus you absolutely have to, or you have to be somebody that is taking the first job that comes your way because you're desperate, or you're in a place where you don't have other options and you have to get dinner on the table. So I wanted to, that's the purpose of this channel, is to really start to expand your paradigm, expand your thought processes, expand your worldview, to the possibility that there is something greater out there for you. So that's kind of what I got to say about it. And again, I'm really appreciative of everybody that's come along for the ride. So thanks, guys.